Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and you tapped into another episode of Cut Different TV. And we got a very, very special guest in the building. We got a producer in the building, multi-platinum, you know what I'm saying? New York's own, and I think he out on the West Coast now, but he back home. And before I introduce you to who we got in the Cut Different Studios arena today, make sure you hit that big red button that says subscribe under whatever screen you watching this on. And hopefully it's a TV screen because you tapped in with Cut Different TV, so it's only right. But anyways, man, I mean, our guest today, you might have heard of, Pro Era, you feel me, a label that he co-founded. You might have heard, you know what I'm saying, that rumble spinning. You might have seen the video. You might have heard that smoke with Ferg. You feel me? We got my brother Powers in the building.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro?
What's going on with you, bro? Thank you for joining us today.
Blessed, man. I'm happy to be here. I fucked up.
You good?
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. It's lit. So you on a little promo run, you know what I'm saying? You got a project on the way.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? Tell us a little bit about what you've been working on lately.
Man, my new album, Life Sucks, man. It's been quite a while, but I'm happy to drop this new music. Just dropped that Rumble, just dropped that Smoke with ASAP Ferg, Amani Caesar, Joey Badass, and, I'm hitting the ground running, man.
Hell yeah. And so your last project was what, 2019? You dropped the Life is Beautiful project?
Yeah.
So over the last 5 years, man, you've been working, obviously, you've been cooking, you've been making it happen. We seen you with the flamethrowers. We seen you going crazy. You feel me? Tell us a little bit about the last 5, what you been doing.
The last 5 years, COVID happened, the world was shut down. I moved to LA, been going hard with the production. I was signed to a deal, been to like a few different record labels, wasn't the best situation. I finally had to find the right home at Mass Appeal to drop my project. I partnered with them earlier this year. It's been great, but it's been working on this project, man, and working with other artists. And initially it was called Life is Beautiful 2, but in the process of my journey with my music and labels, I kind of like finished that album and kind of like shelved it and made another album called Life Sucks, and that's what we have dropping this month.
Okay, bet. That's perfect. And in regards to like Sonics,
Yeah.
right? Like everybody knows that tag. You know what I'm saying? That shit's infectious. But what, obviously transitioning and going from Life is Beautiful and then doing the Life Sucks vibe.
Yeah.
I know that, over the last few years, you've been transitioning and doing everything. What made you pivot and kind of choose that contradictory name, right? Instead of going with the sequel.
At the time, like during COVID, life did suck. Like it was Trump era. We was locked in the cribs. I didn't know how long that shit was gonna last for. All those protests was going crazy. At the time, I lived downtown Brooklyn, right by the Barclays Center. So like every day, every night, they was doing protest laps around my block. Literally, like I don't know if you guys seen that cop car on fire. That was like across the street from my crib. So like it was madness. Helicopters over my head like 24/7. I just got rid of my studio like a month before COVID. I was in the process of looking for a new one, but everything was shut down because of that. So I had all my equipment in my crib. So like my neighbors they hated me. I'm making beats like all day. I'm on Twitch streaming. But I actually produced that song I Like Him for Princess Nokia like in that crib. So like shout out to that and like, having that opportunity. But no, life just sucked and like I kind of just reflected in the music. Like I feel like everybody was unhappy. Even now, like everybody sounds like we just on drugs. We just like trying to get through it. We just kind of like numbing the pain or like trying to distract ourselves from the world that we live in. But it's more about not focusing on the negative. But like even though life sucks, we still here and we still thriving and like we gonna make it. So like it's the same concept as the first album, Life is Beautiful, just with a different title. It's like an oxymoron kind of.
That's beautiful. And I think so early on, like just Buddhist principles, you feel me? They talk about like life is suffering. Like we all suffer in different ways, you feel me? Like, and in order to feel the good, we got to feel the bad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Sonically, how do you correlate going through what you were going through and, on all your projects, right? Everything that you put out, there's theme, right? Obviously, producing a song, you've got your different breakdowns, you've got your different tempos, and you've got your different melodies that give that vibe. But how would you describe sonically the soundscape for this project that you're dropping?
It's definitely the most diverse soundscape I've ever had on a project. At this point, it's been like 5 years. I was like, this effort, I'm just gonna put all my favorite songs on there. I don't really care like about staying to like one genre. So I definitely like go through different vibes. It's definitely experimental, my most experimental project yet. And the first 2 singles, definitely had like that energy. You know, it was that traditional, banger. Got to be by Powers, and we just made a banger. So I wanted to come out the gate with that, but the rest of the project sounds completely different. It's like different vibes, and like I just want people to listen with a open mind, because like I'm gonna take you on a journey.
Fire. And it's got to feel good to be, you know what I'm saying, back working and putting out projects and getting everything rolling.
Hell yeah, bro. I never stopped working. That's the thing. Even though I wasn't releasing music as an artist, I've been cooking up every day forever.
Hell yeah, you got to. You got to
Yeah.
keep the pen strong. 1,000 shots a day type shit.
Hell
Mama
yeah.
mentality. Well, shit, man. I mean, I definitely want to, I'm obviously a fan of the music. You feel me? And you in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, early on, right, your mom, put you on to, Neptunes and Yay and, getting you in that mode and deciding that you wanted to get into producing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that and like your early upbringing that got you where you are.
I mean, my mom was just playing the tunes around the crib. This is like, the early 2000s. And out of all my favorite songs, there's like one constant. And like, it'll be a whole bunch of different artists, but like, the music is the thing that I gravitated to. I didn't even know what a producer was at the time, but when I found out, I was like, hold up, a producer is someone that makes the music. And I went back and like searched all my favorite songs. I'm like, hold up, it's all the same producers. The Neptunes, they had that sound that was super strong at that time. And like, I was like, being an artist is cool, but I want to be a producer because you could work with all these different artists and still have your sound and get your music out there. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
That's fire. And then, so how did you go from, discovering that you wanted to produce and then getting in the situation and starting Pro Era with Joey and Steez? You know what I'm saying? How did that transition occur?
Shout out to my pops. He got a MacBook at the time, and being a producer was just a dream. I didn't have the equipment or whatever to do that shit, and he had GarageBand, so like I would just be messing around on GarageBand, and eventually him and my uncle like built me like this Mac Mini. So I had like Logic on that. I would just be making beats. Then I think for one of my birthdays, they got me a MacBook, and like that was it. Like I had a crack version of Logic.
Yeah.
I was making beats. I was in school every day recording the pros. Had one of the homies hack into the Wi-Fi, so I had Wi-Fi in like the school and stuff. And like I don't think he was allowed to have laptops, but I would pretend like I was taking notes in class, but I was really like making beats like,
It looks
online.
the same shit. Yeah.
Or whatever. But we were all just like-minded people. We all went to Edward R. Murrow High School, and I thought there would just be strength in numbers. Like, we're all doing the same thing. So, like a basketball team, why not come together and, like, more brain power and, like, just go crazy?
Hell yeah. And I know I'm new to New York, but I know early on, like, you got your ASAPs and Pro Era, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, when you're coming up, does it start off as just kind of like, we all got swag, we all make music, this
Yeah.
is just like, not a gang, but this is like our crew?
Yeah.
Or did you early on know, okay, let's put the business behind it and let's really, get everything going? Or was that later when you decided to really make it something corporate? Or not corporate, but you know what I'm saying?
It was just vibes, bro. We was just on the same wavelength, bro. Like, me and Steez, I was cool. We was already cool type shit. It was about just putting a name and brand to it. I remember I did a show with Joey, like, it's like a talent show in our high school called Jam Cafe. Shout out to Erica Gale. She linked us up. But I was playing drums. I was in the music program. Like, I used to cut class. I had access to like the shutdown production studio we had like in the school. So I was just the guy for that. And I met Joey and like we did this song. He's like 16 and like he already had like the bars, the swag. He had the full package already. And like I was just like, this kid's a star. Like, not even knowing, but not really knowing. Like, holy shit. And then Steez was my best friend at the time. We was always together kicking and making music. And then we had a show, a Flight Club show. Shout out to Avery. He goes by the name of, oh my God, it's escaping me right now. I'm gonna remember it. But we had a show and I DJ for Steez on the way back on the bus. He was like, yo, we need to like make a group, bro. We gotta all come together. And he came up with the name. We went to Joey the next day, the Progressive Era, then CJ, and the rest was history.
That's fire, bro. And then look at you today, man. Like, the transition is crazy. And then you went out to the West Coast.
Yeah, during COVID, definitely. I always wanted to move out there. It's always been a dream. And, it's kind of scary moving across the country. And I was, like, bi-coastal for a while. But during COVID, I was like, all right, I'm not comfortable in my environment anymore. This is, like, a sign. I need to, like, go out there. Even before COVID, I was, like, looking at cribs and stuff. And, like, kept on losing out to like families with like 401ks and shit like that. I'm like, all right, maybe this is not for me or whatever. And then COVID happened. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try again. Like if this house come back on the market, I'm not even like super religious. I was praying like, yo, like when these cribs come back on the market, I'm gonna move out there. I swear. And like it happened. I was like, fuck it, I gotta do it.
Hell yeah, bro. That's lit. So being from New York and going to the West Coast,
Yeah.
what is your now that you've got a taste of both? You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
which one do you prefer, and what are the positives and the negatives about being on each coast?
I mean, I love New York. I love Brooklyn. This is my home forever. Like, there's no change in that. LA is just like a new land, and it's like where the music business is. There's so many opportunities out there for me as a producer, and it's more collaborative. In New York, you kind of just work with your crew and the people that you know. Out there, we might be in a studio. We like walking in the rooms, like linking up with new people. It's just a new energy, and I never really had too many producer friends like in New York. Just the ones in my crew. Shout out Kirk Knight, Chuck Strangers. But out there, it's just a network and a community of producers and songwriters that I've just like become a part of.
And so speaking of that and kind of speaking about being in the environment, in the arena where the music industry is, right? Like you've worked with Shabuzi, Young Boy, Juice, RIP, and many, many more. You feel me? What are some of the craziest experiences that you've had, and what is your producer style? Are you actually in the studio with a lot of these artists, or are you more so putting together beat packs, sending it to them, and then collaborating on the back end?
I mean, it's half and half. Half the time I'm sending beat packs out. Other times I'm in the studio. Of course, I love the studio vibes, but like it's not always possible to make that happen. But it's just about being ready at all times. Like I might get hit up at 4 a.m. in the morning, like, yo, send some beats. Like I remember shout out Chris James, Young Boy's engineer. I met up with him in Atlanta, and we just been locked in. And like he'll hit me out at like 7 a.m. like, yo, send the pack. And like I guess they've been up since 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm just waking up, but like I'm just always ready, and like that's how that happened. But I love being in the studio. Smoke, I was in the studio with Ferg in LA. We did like 6, 7 songs. While he's in the booth recording to one, I'm like making the beat for the next. Made that beat in like 15 minutes, and like I knew that was the one. Like sometimes when you're in the room with somebody, you get that energy, and like it's like playing basketball. Like the shot clock is on. Like you gotta like buckle up and get to it. So like I love that type of like pressure in the moment.
Hell yeah. And they said you the go-to guy for like new age posse cuts. You feel me?
Oh shit.
How did that, like, what, tell me a little bit about the development of your sound as a producer. Like, has it always just kind of been something where you were just like, all right, I want to be different? Or is it just something where that's just, you know, how you create?
Shit, I was never trying to be different. I was just doing shit that I thought was dope, just doing it my way. And like, I never thought it was different, but I'll take that. But I'll just make a hard beat, and I'll be like, who do I think would sound good on this? And I'll just send it to them. And I'm like, all right, you know who else would be dope in this? Send it to them. And I'm like, you know who else would be dope in this? Send it to them type shit. Most of the times, we wasn't all in the same room at the same time, but like, I'll just be sending it out.
Word. Hey, man, y'all go ahead and hit subscribe. If you watch the interview all the way through this point, I mean, if you ain't hit subscribe at this point, they got to be hating, Powers.
Yeah, definitely, right?
I mean, what are they
That's
doing?
crazy.
I mean, we got Powers Pleasant in the building, man, and Cut Different Studios. We outside in Brooklyn, man. But for, you know, Cut Different TV, right, like, the purpose of the platform is really to just, one, determine intrinsic values that you have, what makes you different, unique as a creative, as a producer. But also, you know, there's a lot of people watching this interview right now that are up and coming, right? And so they're seeing somebody like you, and they're like, damn, like, I want to be where he is. I want to be doing what he's doing. So when you were an up-and-coming producer, obviously you and Joey and Steez were building something great together. But what were some of the things and steps that you took to really make an impact, right? Like, and help develop your career in the industry?
I mean, most important is like putting them 10,000 hours in, like getting your shit right. And I used to just listen to mad music, bro. I was just studying, just downloading everything, and like I was making beats, and like I would compare my beats to songs that are already out. So I got to the point, like, all right, I'm at the level of like this professional level now. What's the next step? Like getting these to artists and like getting in the room with them or texting them. But you just really got to be smart, man. You have to like, everybody's working hard, so you have to work smarter. You got to be creative about how you're gonna get to these artists, how you're gonna market yourself, and there's no regular path to your goals. Like it's gonna be unorthodox. I used to watch a lot of interviews of artists about their stories and their lives and their come ups, and like it's never what you expected. It was like ups and downs. It wasn't like they blew up one day and made it. It was like a long period of step by step to get where they are today. So never like feel down, never feel like things not going your way. It's not like no magical moment where your life just changes overnight. And like even when you are overnight success, there's always like years and hours of like work behind that to get you to that point.
And what we like to do, first off, thank you for that. And if you're watching, man, you know what I'm saying? Like that's some real shit. On Cut Different, man, our flagship question that people watch and the clips that people see on social media, we ask what makes you cut different. And what that means is, before I ask it to you, you feel me? What that means is essentially, as a creative, as a producer, right? There's a bunch of producers. There's a bunch of people that are making beats. There's somebody in their bedroom right now. There's somebody in the studio right next door cooking something up right now. But intrinsically, deep down in your soul, what makes you cut different as a creative?
I'm cut different because I rock to the beat of my own drum. Like I don't really care what everybody else got going on, respectfully. But like I'm just gonna do me, and like I believe in what I believe in. I don't need a crowd or an audience to cheer me on. Like I'm just gonna keep executing what I want until I make the change that I want.
Type shit. Type shit, cut clip. You know what I'm saying? So shit, man, again, I appreciate you coming on. And, obviously Smoke spinning right now. Rumble spinning right now. That video is crazy.
Hey,
what was it like being on set playing with the flame? Did you feel like Elon Musk with the flamethrower? Like what? Walk us through that a little bit.
I mean, low-key, I'm a pyro. But like, I mean, when I seen the treatment for the video, I seen flamethrower. I was like, oh, that one. They
Are you an Aries?
Nah, I'm a Aquarius.
Aquarius,
Yeah.
Okay. My pop's an Aquarius.
Well, fire.
You said you a pyro. I'm like, damn, you must be a fire sign.
Yeah, nah, air sign. But yeah, 2 flamethrowers. So the first one is tight. I'm out in this hallway. It's my first time using it, and like that shit kind of shoots kind of high or whatever. So I'm like, this is the vibe. Then like we have another flamethrower, like a bigger one, and this one is like heavy as hell, big as hell, and like after you finish shooting it kind of leaves a trail of like gas and fire type shit. So like it's like dripping. So like I'm on this truck, I'm like shooting this shit, and I'm trying not to like drip the fire on the truck. I'm trying to hold this big ass flamethrower and still be like active in the video. So it was definitely like a workout, but it was fun as hell. That shit is hot as hell. I felt like my face heating up every time I hit that shit.
That's funny as hell, bro. The BTS, you got that on the gram, right? The BTS. Yeah, y'all go check that shit out. In fact, somebody gonna potentially put that in the video on this. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can see it. But that's what's up, man. Tell them. So obviously the project Life Sucks on the way. If I know that we talked about it a little bit earlier, but is there like something key that when they listen to this project, is there a message that you want them to take from it? Or is there something that happened or a moment within the project that you really want them to pay attention to, something that's really special to you?
I mean, the message is that life doesn't actually suck. It's amazing. And like you said, back to the Buddhist point, it's like yin and yang. Like, we don't appreciate day without the night. So, like, even the downs make us appreciate the wins and the ups even more. So, like, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it might seem and, like, difficult, just keep on going. Like, it gets better, I promise. It's always worth it. Never give up.
Beautiful, man. Well, shit, man, we got Powers Pleasant in the building on Cut Different TV, man. We in Cut Different Studios in Brooklyn, New York, and it's only right that we have Powers pull up back to home and give us a little interview. Thank you for coming through on the promo, man.
Appreciate you, man.
We love it. And again, man, if go ahead and join the Cut Different family, man. All you gotta do is hit that big red button that says subscribe under hopefully the TV screen that you're watching this on. Drop likes, drop comments, and shit. Before we go, I gotta ask. I mean, any parting words or like one statement, you know what I'm saying, that you want to give to your fans watching this right now?
Got to beat by Powers, and we just made a banger. My G.
Facts, man. We outside, man. It's Cut Different TV. I go by the name of Sebastian Ryder. I'm here with the one and only.
Yes, sir. Powers Pleasant.
And we outside, man. We just made a banger.